I know I can do more. I know I have more to give, and I'm not living up to that. I felt like I was poisoning myself. I feel like I'm literally killing myself. So yesterday, I read Awaken the Giant Within, this book by Tony Robbins, this one of the top coaches, life business coach in the world. And in this book, he talks about how to really start to just create lasting change in your life. You know, for some time now, I've been feeling kind of like lost, like I've been in need of some direction, a clearer vision. And so I took all of yesterday, to not do work, even though this is technically work, but it's like my passion as well, and to really dissect what is in my way. Because sometimes the best way forward is to take one step back and give yourself the space to really be introspective and to evaluate, to get clear on what are the blockages, so that you can remove them and move forward powerfully. I feel amazing now. I did some deep fucking work today. Got a good cry in. You know, like 5 in the morning, I was like, I want to have this breakthrough. Do the work. I went through this exercise of Neuro-Associative Conditioning that's really talking about breaking the old patterns of feeling and of acting that have been reinforced in your neural pathways. You know, like the neurons, like they fire a certain way that you're hardwired into like acting and feeling these same things. You're like addicted to it. I've been addicted to mediocrity. I started to dig into like, okay, what do I want? Like, what is, you know, why am I not doing it? What's preventing me from getting that? What is that costing me? Really getting present to that, because unless you have that leverage, nothing's gonna change. So there are really only 6 steps to change anything in your life, according to Tony Robbins. The first step is you gotta really get clear on what you want, your desire, and then what's preventing you from having that, the blocks. And the second step is you need to really create leverage for yourself, because the truth is, most people don't change unless they feel a lot of pain or they have a lot of pleasure. So you want to start to associate pain with how you've been being, that's disempowering you, and then pleasure to how you truly desire to be, how you are committed to being. Initially, it was like very conceptual in the head, and I felt my head hurting, but then I made myself go into my heart and like really feel it, really visualize it, really feel like, what is this really costing me? And I'm going through this list of things that I wrote down, but then eventually I was just like, if I don't live up to my full potential, if I'm just like, I feel like I know I can do more. I know I have more to give, and I'm not living up to that. That's what really drives me, you know, like that growth, that just being me, you know? And it was almost like I felt like I was poisoning myself. I feel like I'm literally killing myself to not be living up to my standards, for me to not be truly, fully self-expressed because of some fears that came up from, you know, from the past. To be dominated, to allow myself to be dominated by these fears, even though I know better. It's like I'm literally killing myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and that hurts. And I refuse to let that be the case anymore. And then also feel what might be possible, that pleasure that could be possible if I move past this, if I really let go of the old patterns. The third step is pattern interrupt. And that's where you gotta break the pattern. Because oftentimes we kind of go through life and we're even if you have that leverage and you know you want change, you feel like you still feel stuck, and it's frustrating. You have that desire for change and you can't. It's almost like a fly that's flying on a window and it's trying to get out, it's trying to get to the light, and it just keeps hitting the window. Instead of stepping back and taking a look around and seeing if there's another way out. For me, it's like this contraction, this feeling of being weak and small and not fully powerful and glide, you know, full force. And so being able to break that pattern. And so how I break that now is I just say poison. I say that out loud. I like, it's poison, because it's literally poison when I take that shit in, when I entertain that. And it's okay. I can accept that, like, I'm human. I feel these things, but I don't want to indulge in them any longer, because it's not how I'm committed to being. If I'm feeling like sad or whatever, like, I can feel it and still have this sort of poise, this poise, this power about me. Poison, snap myself out of it. I don't care where I'm at or what I'm doing. Even just like saying that in a meeting or something, right? In a socially unacceptable context, that's going to create a lot of pain. And it's going to be like, oh, my body, I'm going to start to hardwire that's painful. I don't want that experience, so that those neurons, those neural pathways start to fire. It's a trigger for me to do this new pattern. The fourth step is creating a new pattern. And that's all about replacing the old patterns with something that's more empowering to you, that also still has the benefits and the payoffs that you got from the old pattern. The being weak, the being small and powerless allowed me to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to feel loved, because people would try to soothe me or validate me. And how can I still feel that? How can I still feel safe? How can I still feel love? And so I decided to just like lean into gratitude and love and appreciation and sharing that with other people. And then with myself even. If I notice that pattern and I break it, poison, then I go automatically into, damn, good job, Glide. You just caught that. You're a fucking beast. Or sending a text to a friend and say, hey, yo, I just wanted to say I love you. Or if I'm having a conversation with somebody, if I'm like, afraid of, creating, proposing an idea, and I feel myself getting small, poison, break that shit, and then be like, hey, you know what? I really appreciate you for all the ideas that you create and your openness to to just brainstorming. And I think, and then I pose the idea. And then the fifth step is about reinforcing how you feel and celebrating, honestly, the new pattern that you've developed. It's basically, you need to start to condition yourself to feel and to act in this new way. So, that's mine. Just like 3 taps. Or sometimes if I'm really feeling, I could be like, woo! That's a little extra, you can introduce that variably, So like, initially I'm going to be doing this all the time. And then every once in a while, bringing that woo, it's like a little extra. The jackpot might be like listening to music, taking I do this amazing pattern, then I go and listen to like Nipsey Hussle, or I go and do some yoga or something that I really love, and just like take a break from whatever I'm doing. That's like the jackpot. And so introducing like this schedule of rewarding and reinforcing this new pattern, so that you create this new neural pathways. It's all about solidifying them and having them really reprogramming yourself for the pleasure, and then associating pain with the old ways that you were being. And then the last step 6, is about testing it. And the best way to test is to just really future pace, or it's almost like envisioning the different potential roadblocks and triggers and things that would have you go down the old way of being, the old habits, the old actions, the old thought patterns, and instead you're gonna go through this, like envision going through this whole process. Just doing that, going through it. And every time I went through the different scenarios, I was like, yeah, like if I do this, I'm going to feel amazing. Like the frustration, the fear, the sadness, the weakness, the powerlessness it was gone. This is going to be a game changer for me, and in my journey to really change my personal finances and really get my business off the ground, or just honestly more than just the business, is just fulfilling on my intention and my mission in the world. And I invite you to take this on, go through these 6 steps, and in fact, comment below what's something that you truly desire, and go through this process on your own. And if you need some help, feel free to reach out to me. Hope this was helpful. Talk to you soon. Peace.
How you doing? I'm the Giant. That's my name. And I've awoken. What up?